And the Born Alive Abortion Survivors Protection Act would have required that any healthcare practitioner present at the time of a birth exercise the same degree of professional skill, care, and diligence to preserve the life and health of the child as a reasonably diligent and conscientious healthcare practitioner would render to any other child born alive at the same gestational age.
This bill is not actually about anything that limits abortion. This bill doesn't have anything to do with Roe v. Wade. This bill's about something else. What this bill does is try to secure basic rights, equal rights for babies that are born and are outside the womb. That's what we're talking about.
Quote, this will be remembered as one of the most shocking votes in the history of Congress. If there is one thing we should all agree on, it is protecting the lives of innocent babies. Calling it an anti-abortion bill. Senate defeats anti-abortion bill. It's not an anti-abortion. It's giving a baby outside the womb medical care. Abortion didn't work. The abortion is over. Now we're talking about life. Here's more from Ben Sass on what this really means.
Today's vote is about whether or not you want to take the side of people like Virginia's disgraced governor, Ralph Northam. Last month, before the news of his hideous yearbook broke, Governor Northam had made clear that a baby born alive during an abortion could and maybe ought to be killed if that's what the parents and the doctors decided they wanted to do after a debate. That was his position. He said you should make the baby comfortable, and then there could be a discussion about whether or not you throw that little baby into the trash can.
And apparently that is the position of the vast majority of Democrats. And in fact, anyone who thinks it should be illegal to throw that baby in the trash can, anyone who believes that is a member of the far right, might as well be a Nazi.
The legislation we're debating today is just the latest salvo in the far right-wing assault on a woman's constitutionally protected right to an abortion. With all due respect to my colleague from Nebraska, who introduced this legislation, this bill is a solution in search of a problem. Contrary to what the proponents of this bill argue, it is and has always been a crime to harm or kill newborn babies. And people guilty of this crime can already be charged and prosecuted to the full extent of the law.
Oh, is that right, Mrs. Hirono? A solution in search of a problem. The life of a baby is already covered in federal law. False. A similar bill in 2002 recognizes infants born alive as people, but it does not. It does not make it criminal for doctors to deny those infants the same care they would to any other baby at that same stage. As National Review writer Alexandra DeSanctis points out, quote, Sass's bill requires immediate medical care and transportation to a hospital. A solution in search of a problem, Hirono. Is it a problem for you that sometimes when babies survive abortion attempts, they are left alone by themselves in a cold room to die? I mean, on an issue that you guys are so passionate about, you should probably know the facts. But instead, you guys are so blinded by delusion that you really think this doesn't ever happen and that this bill is unnecessary. You want to know why? Because this bill blows open their notion that abortion is this cute, happy thing to defend a woman's freedom. Someone should show them the stories and stories and stories of doctors and nurses who used to provide abortions until one day it struck them that they were murdering babies. You know, I don't love having to play such a graphic description, but this is the reality of it. I mean, this is what we're talking about. This is abortion. Abortion is not this clean procedure, as the Democrats want to make it sound, where a woman, she goes in pregnant and then comes out magically unpregnant. It's magic. It's not magic. It's murder. But by a miracle, sometimes babies survive that process. And the Democrats don't think it's necessary to give that baby any care after they already tried to butcher it once. Now, the other argument you keep hearing is that this is like putting a politician in the delivery room. Politicians should never be telling doctors how they should care for their patients. It should be up to the women and their families. And this is allowing politics and politicians to get in the way of that relationship. No. As Blaze TV's congressional correspondent Nate Madden says, this is not about putting politics in the middle of the doctor-patient relationship. This ensures that a doctor-patient relationship exists for the baby who just survived an abortion attempt. The question is that everyone needs to be asking themselves is, does life matter to you? Does life matter? If it does, there is no way in hell you could be in favor of blocking this bill. Now, the only silver lining on this is that it makes it a real easy decision in 2020 for Americans. Do you vote? Do you vote for the party of child executioners, or do you vote for the party that believes all men are created equal and all men are endowed with certain unalienable rights, and chief among those rights is the right to life?